442. Jacob
All right,
Marlowe,
everybody, this is Dan McCarthy with Bo Junkie, and we're getting ready to film the ASA Pro Shootdown. This class is actually the K50 class. The difference between this class and some of the other classes are these guys shoot known distance. So this is the top of the top, cream of the crop for known distance right now. Currently, Mark Ritchie's leading the field with a 440, so after 40 targets, he's got a 2-point lead over Michael Braden, who's at a 442. Jacob Marlowe, this is the first tournament Jacob's shot. Jacob's actually shot, this is his first tournament in the K50, and he's actually tied for second at 442 also. Donnie Thacker, he's at a 442. He's been shooting this for a long time. Donnie's a great shot. And Jake Kreck, who was last weekend's winner, last tournament, he actually won in Paris, Texas. He's pulling up the lead in fifth
Mark Ritchie at 444.
At a 441. So
we have a 12 for Mark, moving him to 456.
So Mark shoots a 12. That's going to be a tricky target. Like I was saying, that's one of the shorter targets on the course. So it could be tough because the leader's not going to want to take a really big risk. So he might shoot at a 12. We might see some 14 shot on that target that he shot a 12 on. Which he's lucky he hit a 12 on it. That was a good play.
For Jacob also moving.
Looks like he took a shot at.
And him, we have a 10 also. So that three-way tie is still a three-way tie at 452.
And Jake shot at a 14 on his Coyote.
Looks like he might be hunting for more than maybe a 10 or a 12.
And he's got it at 1 o'clock, pretty solid.
No, he did hunt it. It's a 14 for Jake Crack. And that'll move him to 4.
Good shot.
55 and into second place. So Jake Crack has now jumped from 5th place to 2nd place on 1 arrow. All right,
so it doesn't take very long. Jake's 1 point behind now. So he was our leader last week at the last tournament. And now he's 1 point behind. Mark Ritchie's still currently leading, which he started out leading at 444, and now he's at a 456. So we'll see what they do. Mark and Jake are the two guys to watch. You know, I think we'll see a lot of 14s being shot or shot at on that Coyote.
How long do they have?
Donnie Thacker just took a shot at one. Jake just took a shot at this one and actually shot an 8 on this chamois deer here. He's just underneath it, so that's going to hurt him. He's going to drop to a 453, but it's the same play Otto made.
First up for Donnie Thacker on the Coyote.
Mark Ritchie made another really good shot, 12 this Blessbach. So he's
14. Looks like that Coyote is too close.
Still have the lead.
Too well marked for them to not go for it. That's
Mark
Donnie
Ritchie
Thacker
will be
moving
at
out
a
of the pack.
468.
Next up for Jacob Marlowe. Also looking for something.
Have a pretty good lead.
For Jacob.
Looks like a lot of people are trying to catch Mark.
The 14 ring was
and they're
not
just shooting
where he wanted it to be.
Shooting 8s.
For Michael Braden. We have a 10 for Michael. So that three-way tie is now permanently broken until the next arrow shot.
So now Donnie Thacker
made
a big move there on that Coyote, which I think a lot of people are going to shoot at that Coyote. But Donnie hit it. So Donnie's sitting at a 466, and Mark Ritchie will be at a 468. So Donnie Thacker is really the only one close at the moment. He's only 2 points behind on Mark. So
he's just a little low.
I look for Mark to continue the same game plan that he's doing. He's just going to be shooting at 12s and being smart. And he's going to wait until that final target, which is that Coyote, before he really decides to make his move if he's going to shoot at 14 or not. And it's a close target, so it's a perfect scenario for him to finish on a target. If he can hold his lead all the way to that target or stay within it, he'll be in a really good position to take the lead back going into the final.
Everybody good? Mr. Donnie Thacker says he wants the upper 12 on
Donnie's making a call.
Or Beetlejuice.
If you get this Beetlejuice, Donnie's going to shoot at this one. He switched to an upper, and if you can see that little light spot,
all right,
that's why he called that. There's a little light spot right at 3 o'clock. Oh, 3 or 4 o'clock on that 12 ring, so it gives him a really good aiming spot and give him a little bit of advantage to make a cleaner shot on that target instead of just aiming at a blank target. And he hit it, crushed it. Shot, Donnie. Another 14 shot on that Coyote. So everybody's hit the 14 on the Coyote so far.
Going for the upper 12 ring on the chamois.
And it seems like this actually goes
10
slow, but when you're a shooter
Mark
in this
Ritchie,
stuff, it
478.
actually goes really
Looks like
fast
he
because you're
continue to
trying
hold
to
on to
do
his lead.
what I'm doing, where I'm
See what
actually
Michael
looking at the
Braden
score
does
and
on
I'm
his target.
calculating out what things are going to be. But
Let's see how big
as
that
a
lead
shooter,
will be.
you have to do those same calculations, and you
Solid
actually
12
have
for Michael
to
Braden.
change your
Moves him to
strategy too
474.
to decide what you're going to
And
do
for
for the next
Jacob
target,
Marlowe,
what's
currently at
left.
460. He's looking for his own 14 on that coyote. A 14 for Jacob Marlowe. Moves him
Shot,
to
Jacob.
474 and back into a tie with Michael Braden. Wow. We now have Donnie Thacker and Mark Ritchie tied at 478. Michael Braden and Jacob Marlowe tied at 474, and Jake Kreck at 473. That's the first time we have a first place tie in this one. And the lead change is going to continue for the next 2 arrows.
All
I
right,
can
so
almost guarantee
now we have
that.
Donnie Thacker
Gentlemen, if
and
you're
Mark
ready,
Ritchie tied for first.
let's start your 1 minute now.
Michael Braden, Jacob Marlowe tied for second. And they're only 4 points back. So we'll see Jacob shoot at a 14 here. And he hit it. He shot at a 14. We'll see Michael Braden shoot at a 14 on this coyote as well. And then I suspect Donnie Thacker and Mark will both shoot at 12s. Mark Ritchie hit the 12.
All right, on the coyote.
Michael Braden shot way low. Caught an 8 line, but he shot at a 12,
for Michael
which
Braden.
was,
479.
I don't know why he did that, but he
Next
did
up
that.
for Mark Ritchie. Currently are tied
I think
lead at
Mark Ritchie
478
12 this bear.
on the brown bear.
Looks
We
like
have a
we have
12.
12
for
on
Mark
the brown
Ritchie. His
bear,
good shooting still
12 on
continues.
the
Now at
deer,
490.
12 on the Blessbach, and a 14
Next up
on
is
this
Jake.
chamois. So some pretty good
Jake
shooting
Kreck.
on this backside.
For Jake, we have a 12 for Jake Kreck, moving him to 485. And back within 5 points of Mark Ritchie.
So Michael
Donnie
Braden
Thacker
just
on the
dropped from
Blessbach.
second to
He's a
fifth.
12 to stay tied with our leader
With that
currently,
shot.
Mark Ritchie at 490. And he's got his 12. He also stays at 490 and in the lead with Mark Ritchie going into our 5th arrow. And now for Jacob Marlowe on the chamois. A 14 for Jacob Marlowe moves him to 488. And only 2
Jacob's a
points
good
off of our
shot.
leaders going
I've
into our 5th
shot
arrow.
against him for a few years. He's
Just
shot
a
in the
reminder
Open
that
Pro
you cannot
class.
win a tournament.
Like I said,
in the
this
pro
is his
classes
first.
or the
This
pro
is his
shootdowns
first tournament
if you're
shooting in
tied
the
for first
K50
place
class,
and
and
score.
to come
12
in and
rings
be
cannot
sitting
break
right
the
there in
first
the
place
lead.
tie
That's
in
a pretty
shootout.
good statement
So
of his
we
shooting
continue at
ability.
this
He's a
pace
great
and
shot.
mark.
He's also a
And
really
possibly
young shooter
Jacob
too.
moves in the
I
mix
believe
along with Donnie. They'll keep
Jacob's
shooting until
only
we have a clear
19,
winner.
so
We also have to
he'll be in this
establish
sport for a
clear winner
while.
for 2nd and 3rd place.
Michael's been in it for a
At
long
that point in
time. He was
I'll
one
have
of
a
the first
meltdown.
guys I actually got
You'll
to
see
shoot
it
at,
on
shoot with
YouTube,
in my first couple pro
broadcast from
tournaments.
Lancaster.
So he's been doing it for a long time.
You
He's
guys
still
awake
there.
out there? Work with me on this. All right, 5th arrow. It's tight. We got
All right.
Michael Braden at 479, trailing Mark Ritchie at 490, Donnie Thacker at 490, Jacob Marlowe at 488, and Jake Kreck at 485.
So
Gentlemen, if you're ready,
on this
we'll start
shot,
your 1 minute
Michael
now.
Braden's 11 points out of lead, so he's gonna shoot at a 14 on this target in order to try to make a move, maybe make a play spot, and get within 10 points so it can be on a final shot. Mark Ritchie would probably shoot at a 14 on this guy. I would, even though he's tied for the lead, I would shoot at it. And Mark shot an 8, but I agree with his play. Donnie Thacker, I'd have shot at a 14 if I was Donnie, or I'd have shot at 12, and he shot just above it. So he played the 10, played it safe. So Donnie Thacker will be going in and in the lead.
Okay, first up for Michael Braden, currently at 479. He needs a good score to get back in the hunt. That's
So
it
Donnie
for Michael.
took a shot.
That
He
may
actually
be his
shot at
last arrow of
14,
this
ended up with an
week's
8. So that's
competition.
gonna drop him back. He's gonna actually fall 2 points behind Donnie Thacker
Next
going
up
into the
for Jacob
final
Marlowe,
arrow. So
who's been
it's
making a
unfortunate. I've been there before
really
where
big push
you
here.
lead the
A
whole
12 for
event
Jacob
and
Marlowe.
then
That puts
you find
him
yourself on the
at
final
500
arrow
even.
sitting back. But
He's
we'll see
looking
it.
for a tie
Anything
going
can
to
happen with one
6th
shot to
and
go.
final arrow, which may not be final arrow in this particular round.
Good shooting, Mike.
For next up, a 10 for Donnie Thacker moves him to 500 into a tie with Jacob Marlowe at 500.
Jacob Marlowe
Next,
12'd his
Jake
last
Crack,
target, so he came
looking
all the
for
way
14.
back to
Within
actually
1 point
end up
leaders.
being
He's
tied
got
for
that
the lead
14.
now.
He's at 499, and he's definitely going into a fifth and
So we've
sixth
seen
and final era with the rest of the
several
crowd,
lead changes there.
trailing by 1
We
point.
saw Mark Ritchie lead
And
almost
for
the
Mark
whole
Ritchie.
time, and then Donnie Thacker came back and
Mark
actually
looking for his
took
good
the lead
score on
for
that
2
one, but he gets
targets,
an 8
and then
moves
was
into
tied with him the rest of the event.
498.
And then
2
Mark
points
Ritchie
now
lost his
behind.
lead on the last target,
As
and
advertised,
Jacob
we now
Marlowe
have our
came up
third
there to
lead
actually
change
tie
today.
Donnie
Fifth place
Thacker.
is Michael Braden, shooting first in the final
So
era
we'll
with
have
Mark
4
Ritchie at
people finishing
498.
this final
Second is
target.
Jake
Because
Crack
like I
at
said, if they're within 10
499.
points,
And
they get
based
to
on
shoot the final arrow.
bonus
Right
rings,
now we have
we're going
4
to flip a
guys
coin between
within
Jacob
10
and Donnie.
points.
If they have to continue, Jake, they'll alternate after that to see who will shoot the fifth and final arrow. All right, we're going to set up a stake, Mr. Bailey.
Really couldn't ask for better
I need
conditions
Donnie
either.
and Jacob.
I've shot a gazillion shoot-offs. I've even shot here before, and there's a big lake out here, so usually you'll have a good amount of wind coming off the lake if we have a shoot-off in this area. But today the weather's just been amazing. We were supposed to get rain, and it is like dead calm. I mean, there's probably not even a quarter inch of hold at any time, where even the worst wind is, there's just nothing. So it's just really good lighting, really good wind conditions. I mean, people are holding umbrellas for sun, but that's really it. So these guys, this is probably one of the best conditions I've ever seen for a shoot-off.
It's tails. You want to go first or second? Very last. Okay, Donnie, you go last. If you shoot again after this arrow, Jacob will go last in the next arrow.
Okay, so the interesting thing also with this one, even though we have a tie now at first place, and a 12 rings will break ties,
Here's the way it's
but they
gonna work.
will not
You
break
guys
ties
1
for
minute to
first
judge
place.
which target.
So if these guys are
The
still in
deer
a tie
from right
after
here.
this shot, they'll continue to shoot until the
When I say
tie is
judge,
broken
just
from
shoot it,
score.
Give the guy the number and let's go.
And usually that goes, I believe,
Just don't announce
3
the number to
shots,
anybody
3
else.
standard shots,
Over
and then
here.
if it goes into a fourth, they measure closest to center, which it usually never goes.
How many of y'all have
4
come here
shots.
for the first time to an ASA Pro-Am?
I've seen it go 4 shots, but that's it.
This was
What do you
pretty
think?
Good. This was a pretty good
We're doing?
compacting
Thank you.
of everybody.
Yeah.
We have a great staff. We have a guy named Don Bailey who's down there in that tan shirt, strolling around in his blue jeans. Hey Don, turn around and face the crowd and say hi. Mr. Don Bailey is our tournament director. He's the one that sets up all the targets and makes sure everything's safe and very pleasantly challenging for everybody. If you have a complaint about the range conditions or the way the shots were set up, that's the guy you talk to. And behind me are the ladies who operate the trailer. We have Jenny and Lorraine and Marcia. If you guys would give them a round of applause.
This event was really well
When you call
done.
the ASA office, you're dealing with these people in the trailer. These are the ones that get
They
everything
were
done.
stressed out. We
Having to
actually had a
process
maximum
2,000 scorecards twice in a
capacity
weekend
here that Mike
is
could
a
handle was
tremendous task, and I
2,000,
want to thank them for a great job.
2,054, right?
All right,
2,054
let's look and see
shooters.
what we got.
And
Well,
we
here we
ended
go.
up having
Mr. Mark Ritchie is
2,002.
up, currently
So
at 498.
we were 52 people
Trailing
from
our leaders by 2
absolute
points.
maximum capacity, and it just so happened that they were distributed in the right classes to be able to
I think a nice solid 10
facilitate
with
shooting
Mark
everybody
actually no
here.
good at all.
Otherwise, you know, it'd have been troublesome, but they did a
But
great
that's
job
his
fitting
decision to
everybody
make
out here
because the 12
because there
and the
was
14 are in play.
a ton of people, problems with parking, but everybody ended up
What?
fitting, and there's room for everybody to shoot. So,
All right, Mark, are you ready?
here we go.
What's happening right now?
So with Mark,
Let your glass
Mark's
one
led
more
this
time.
whole tournament, and now he finds himself sitting in 4th place with 1 shot to go. He literally led all through the shoot-off until his final arrow. So now he's in 4th, so he's going
All
to
right,
shoot
sir.
first. The guy in 3rd will shoot next. The
picked
guy
out
in
an aiming
2nd will
point.
shoot after that. And the guy in
Start
1st
your
will
1
shoot
minute.
last. That way
Now.
he has an advantage and gets to understand what he needs to do in order to win. But
What's he shooting at? What's he shooting at?
he's shooting at the deer. He should shoot at a 14, would be my guess.
Okay.
Looks like
Mark's looking for something.
it's probably about an 1/8 inch underneath
Preferably
it.
the size 14.
So it's a great shot, good line, just straight low.
Mr. Bailey says it's an 8, moving him
And
to
it
506.
you probably can't see it very well with the camera
Yeah, go
angle,
for
but
it.
from
Now
up here
far
to
by
down
the
there,
rest of
there's
our
about
competitors.
this is about
He
a
will now
4-degree
finish up in
slope.
4th place.
So it's not much,
Next up
but
is
it
Jake
is
Crack,
it is
currently
just
at
enough to
499.
actually have a minor cut
Jake
downhill.
is
So
either
you know, these guys, if they're clicking
Gonna
it with their
win this thing outright.
rangefinder, they should be cutting some of them, and
Or he's
that
gonna
shot
fail by
from
1
back
point.
here would probably be about a half a yard cut. So it's not much, but it is enough to cause you to
Jake,
miss
you ready?
one if you don't
We'll start your 1 minute
account
now.
for that little bit of angle. So now Jake's in third. Jake's going to be trying to make a move. I'll actually look for Jake to also shoot at a 14. That way he makes everybody do it.
Okay,
And he 12'd it.
let's see what he's doing. He's setting the bar for the rest of the
Which,
crowd.
is,
So
which
he's
puts
come
him
up
in a
with
good position.
A
I'd
12 for
probably
Jake
shot
Craig.
at a
Good shot.
14,
Moves him to 5'11".
I've lost a lot of tournaments doing
All
the
right,
same thing.
Jacob
so,
Marlowe is going to be next up.
you know,
Jacob
he might have had a
needs
better
at least
spot
a 12
to aim.
stay ahead of Jake
now
Craig.
Jacob
And
needs
to
a
keep
12.
the pressure on Donnie Thacker. Anything
But he's-
less than a 12, Jacob is going to end up. You sure? Upper? He wants the upper 12?
All right, so Jacob's
He's
calling
pretty
for an
confident
upper.
that he's going to go for the upper 12,
Personally,
and not the
again,
14.
I would
which
shoot at a
is knockout
14
punch here.
because if you shoot a 14 in this situation, then that means the worst that can happen is Donnie can
He may
match
get
you
up there
with
and
a
all of a sudden decide
14,
he wants the
pushing
14.
it into a final arrow.
That's why it's so
the
much fun.
14
You can
and the
jump on that
12
thing
is
and we
almost
wouldn't even know
exactly
it.
the same. They are the same size on this particular target.
And
So
somebody's going to go, "Lucky
if he
shot."
hits a 12, then
It's
he
not
should have
gonna be
also
Donnie
hit,
who's gonna
you know,
say
would have
that
been
either.
able to hit the same size
All right.
14 ring.
Jacob, if you're ready,
But
we'll start your 1 minute.
if he shoots a
now.
12, it puts Donnie Thacker in an opportunity to just win it flat out by making the same shot and hitting a 14.
Okay, he's looking for either the upper 12 or the 14 ring.
I think he hit it. So
He had
it looked
both
like he
right there in
changed his mind. He
sights.
was
had to make
calling.
a choice.
He's
He's got a 14.
That's the play I would have made. Jacob shot against us a lot. I've shot against Jacob in
However,
shoot-offs.
since
I
he
was
called
actually
the upper
really
12, It's not
surprised
any good.
that he was going to shoot it. That he said that he was going to shoot at a 12.
You fooled us.
Good
Great
shot, Jacob.
Okay, Donnie.
So that was a good, smart play.
Do what?
Because now Donnie's got to
ready?
shoot at a
You
14.
want the upper 12 too, like Jacob?
And if he shoots at it and he hits it, then
You can take
they
the
go
upper
into
12
a final
just in
arrow.
case?
If he misses
All right.
it, then Jacob wins straight up.
That's not a bad strategy because a little bit low, you catch the 12, you still come in second.
Nobody's shooting for second. I don't ever shoot for second when I get in this situation, so I'd rather lose it all or
All
win
right.
it all with this shot.
Start your 1 minute now.
Donnie will shoot at a 14. It's a little bit of breeze right there.
Okay, he's looking for the 14.
Just a little bit of, there was a little bit of breeze that came in.
He has a
which
5,
I wouldn't be
moving down into
surprised if it
505.
didn't
That
catch him.
means
It
that
actually
Our
was one of
champion
the
is
strongest
Jacob
little
Marlowe
gusts
at
that we've had out here.
514.
So this is
Second
Jacob's
place
first
is
tournament.
Jake Craig.
First tournament shooting the
Third place is
K50.
Mark
He
Ritchie.
just
Fourth
left
place is Donnie Thacker.
men's open pro
Gentlemen, that was a
for
great
this
shoot. Let's give
this
them all a round
event
of applause
to go
for a
shoot
really great
K50 and
shootout.
wins his first tournament. So Jake Craig did the same move last tournament and did
We're going to be writing a few checks
and
over here
won
while they're doing
that
that.
event. So it seems to be a pretty good move for these guys.
And get ready to accept
And
their,
I'm proud of
their
Jacob.
beautiful
Jacob's a
plaques from the
great
ASA,
shot.
which is
He's
the
been
reason
kind
they
of getting
do
a
all
little
this, of
bummed
course.
out because he's been judging not as well as he's been shooting. So it's
These
good
are
to see
valuable
him.
plaques these people
It's good to see
want
him
here.
make a move and get a win right off the bat.
Get out the ones they